lovelies, Jennifer Auto here, back for another Style Fix video. Thank you for joining me again this week on my YouTube channel. And today I wanted to do something kind of fun and talk about my top 10 accessories. Now, this may not be a list that you agree with, and I'd love to hear from you if you don't. So don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let's dive right in. So firstly, what I wanted to say is when I was preparing for this video, I wanted to quickly look up the definition of accessories. And an accessory is a thing that can be added to something else to make it more useful, versatile, or attractive. I basically based my list on this idea. So starting with number 10, and I feel like this is one of those accessories that ends up being a little bit underlooked. It's a kind of understated statement of an accessory, and that for me is a watch. Now, whether or not you're doing a watch that's really sporty or something that's really classic, like a Cartier with a leather band or a gold watch, let's say, or even something that is a family heirloom, I feel like the nice thing about watches is it doesn't necessarily set the tone for the outfit. That's why it's number 10 on my list, but it definitely says to the world what your style is at that time. And that's why I put watches as number 10 on this list. Number 9, and this is something I have been talking about for years. You know I love them, and that are belts. I love belts because I feel like they add a lot of polish to an outfit. Not only are they really practical in terms of helping you keep up your pants if they're a little bit loose, but also they add texture, they add interest, they add a sense of the outfit being really finished. Whether you're doing a basic kind of sweater dress with a leather belt on top or a t-shirt dress with a belt on top, just adds that texture, that interest, and really polishing the outfit. All right, number 8, and that's hats. I feel like hats, not only are they practical, obviously, in terms of keeping the sun off or keeping your head warm, but they can also add a lot of drama. They can really set the tone of an outfit, and that's why I put this number 8 on my list. I feel like if you're wearing a really dramatic fedora hat, let's say, you really notice the hat first walking down the street before you notice the rest of the outfit. They can be an accessory that's really super casual, like a baseball cap, or really quite chic, like a sort of plush type velvet hat. There's such a wide variety of hats out there. And again, I feel like this is one of those accessories that adds drama, this adds interest, but also lets the rest of the world kind of know what your style is, depending on what kind of hat you've chosen to wear. Number 7, and that's sunglasses. And I kind of lumped in sunglasses and seeing eyeglasses as the same. I feel like glasses really say who you are to the world, say what your style is. They don't necessarily completely transform an outfit, but they can set the tone of an outfit. This is another accessory that is really versatile. They come in so many different shapes and sizes. And as the viewer, we kind of know there's like this unwritten language when you see somebody with a certain type of glasses, you kind of already understand who they are. And I find that is a really interesting thing about an accessory. But I didn't want to put this in my top 5 of the list because I don't really feel like a pair of glasses completely transforms an outfit. Number 6 on my list, and this is something else I've talked about for so many years. You know I love them, and that is scarves. I love scarves. Not only are they practical and versatile in terms of adding color, adding warmth, adding that color against your face, let's say. But I think that they're a really fun accessory because you can wear them in so many different ways. You can wear them on your head, you can wear them on your neck, obviously, on a handbag, on your wrist, on your waist. They're playful, they're fun, they add color, they add joy, they add excitement to outfits. And I feel like they're not in my top 5 because they don't transform necessarily. But I love scarves because they're playful, they're joyful, like I said, they add print, they add texture, they add an extra layer to an outfit, and I think that that's a really beautiful thing. And with scarves, I feel like you can do so many different looks. All right, number 5 on my list, and that are handbags. I do feel like handbags can transform an outfit. They can really set the tone of an outfit, and there's so many kind of unwritten rules about handbags that we all tend to know. Like with a really dressy kind of outfit, you want to have something that's small, like a little clutch or a little purse or a little crossbody bag that's delicate, perhaps beaded. And then we all know that we love a really gorgeous leather bag that sets the tone for a great classic kind of outfit, whether you're doing jeans and t-shirt or a beautiful wool coat. Having a great leather bag really reads chic, it reads elegant, it reads very classic. And then carrying, let's say, a basket bag, that reads summertime, that reads market, that reads relaxed. And what I like about handbags, and this is why I put it number 5 and why I feel like it does transform an outfit, is because of that unwritten language, this is where you can be playful. This is where you can skew these ideas and do the unexpected. So there it transforms the outfit. So doing your beautiful wool coat, let's say, with your basket bag, or doing your really delicate beaded dressy clutch with your jeans and t-shirt, doing your leather bag with a big puffer coat or that really light summery dress. Playing around with the unexpected, I feel like does make this a statement and does transform the outfit. I hope that makes sense. All right, next up, something, again, I feel like is an accessory that becomes a little bit overlooked, but for me is a really important accessory. And I feel like we're really lucky to have this in our back pocket because it's such a great tool. And that's makeup. Whether you want to do a really fresh sort of non-makeup look or doing a really dramatic smoky eye, I feel like makeup can really set the tone for an outfit and can really transform an outfit. What I mean by that is, let's say, think about your favorite little black dress, the dress that you have worn to many events that you've probably worn to graduation, funeral, whatever it is. But that dress, depending on how you do your makeup, will look different. So if you decide to do a really dramatic smoky eye, all of a sudden that dress looks different, or a really fresh, clean look, no makeup kind of look with a dramatic nail color, that dress is going to look different. Or whether you decide to do a dark lipstick, red or burgundy or something, that dress is going to look different again. So that's why I feel like makeup is such a great accessory, and that's why it's number 4 on my list. All right, number 3 on my list is jewelry. And the reason why I chose jewelry as number 3 is because I feel like what's so lovely about jewelry is we adorn ourselves in something. It's like we put ourselves in value enough, we become precious enough, we treasure ourselves enough to wear jewelry. And that's why I thought it should be number 3 on my list. Whether or not you're like, for me, when I'm deciding of what I feel like wearing jewelry, for instance, like if I'm having a day where I'm missing one of my loved ones, let's say like my mom, for instance, then I can put on something that was hers and feel close to her. or I have actually two rings that I wear nearly every day. Each of them belong to my grandmothers on both sides, and I feel like they're with me all the time, and I feel like it's really special. Not only am I adorning myself with beauty, but I'm also thinking about the people who've passed before me, and I feel like I love this idea. And I feel like you can also be intentional with your jewelry. If you feel like sparkling, you can wear a lot of silver, sparkly, flashy kind of jewelry. If you feel like having that big statement necklace on, then you go for it. And I feel like jewelry can be big, bold, or it can be quiet. Does it always transform an outfit? Not necessarily, but you can make it transform an outfit. The reason why I really put it number 3 on my list is because I feel like it's a really special accessory. All right, number 2 on my list, and that is footwear. For me, I love shoes. I have many pairs of shoes, and I love shoes because I feel like they completely transform an outfit. You can be wearing a basic jeans and t-shirt and go for a dramatic pair of shoes, and all of a sudden that outfit looks really interesting. It looks different. Or you can wear that same basic t-shirt and jeans and wear a really cool pair of running shoes, and that outfit again looks different. I feel like footwear is practical, it's versatile, we need it, but it can take any really basic outfit and make it look really fashion forward or really understated, depending on your mood of the day and how you're wanting to step out into the world, no pun intended. So footwear is number 2 on my list. And to round off my list is number 1, and I think again this is something that is probably not expected, and that's a great haircut. I feel like our hair is one of our best assets. We can completely transform any of our outfits in our wardrobe with a different haircut or a different hairstyle. You can have long hair and go short, and all of a sudden all your outfits are going to look completely different. And that's why I love haircuts or hairstyles as an accessory. I feel like you don't even have to wear makeup necessarily with a great hairstyle. It's a place where you can be very polished looking. I feel like it's really versatile. I feel like it adds attractiveness. It ticks all the boxes, and it is so easy, and something, like I said, that I think is really overlooked. So a great hairstyle is number 1 on my top 10 list of accessories. Let me know in the comments down below whether or not you agree with me. I'd love to hear from you. I just wanted to quickly announce that coming up, I have another online workshop, June 21st from 2 to 4 p.m. It's a Saturday. And of course, it's all about accessories. We're going to dive deep into the subject, how to style accessories, because this is not necessarily an easy thing for everybody, and I know that from talking to so many of you over the years. So that's why I wanted to do this workshop. It's going to be a lot of fun. We always have fun in these workshops, so I hope you can make it. I'll leave the link down below to get the tickets. They're $29, and I hope you can join us. Otherwise, for more style ideas, more inspiration, or just simply to see what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. And lastly, if you want a few more detailed insights into my world, then you can now check out my Substack account.